Most people think a Medicare letter is just information, but some letters start a deadline, and if you miss it, your plan change window can close. In the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly what date to look for so you know how much time you actually have. A Special Enrollment Period, or SEP, is a short window to change plans outside the annual enrollment period. It only happens when something qualifies you for it. And most of the time, the proof is a letter. That letter is what Medicare uses to set your dates. And that's why the dates matter. Even if you call and get a clear answer, Medicare still uses a letter to time your SEP. Phone calls don't set your window. The written notice does. So if you misread it or ignore it, you lose time, even if you heard something different. That letter is your anchor. Most SEPs get triggered by one of these three notices: termination, non-renewal, or loss of coverage. Different letter, same problem. Each one creates a deadline, and the letter tells you exactly what you're allowed to do and by when. And this is where people lose their SEP. Letters include multiple dates, and most people grab the first date they see. That's where the confusion starts. The notice date is when the letter was sent. The effective date is when the change actually happens. And your SEP deadline depends on what the notice says, because some windows are tied to when coverage ends, and others are tied to when you were notified. So the goal is simple. Don't guess. Find the deadline wording and the date it's based on. A common situation looks like this. Someone gets a plan notice in the mail and thinks it's informational, so they set it aside. Weeks go by. Nothing feels urgent. Then they finally call when they need a refill or a doctor visit comes up. But the window tied to that notice is already closed. And now they're sitting there thinking, wait, I can't change anything right now. That's the part people don't see coming. The mail didn't feel urgent, but it started the clock. And this is the key point. The plan sends the notice. Medicare sets the SEP rules. That notice tells you what changed, and it tells you the dates Medicare is using. And that's what decides your SEP window. So don't guess based on the first date you see. Find the deadline wording like through or by, because the only date that protects you is the one written in the notice. And here's what to do next. When the letter arrives, don't panic and don't ignore it. Read the first page slowly. Find the effective date first because that anchors your SEP clock. Then look for deadline wording like you may enroll through or you must act by. Now call with the letter in front of you. Ask two questions. 1, what SEP does this letter create? And 2, what is my last day to act? And if the date you hear doesn't match the letter, pause. Ask them to explain the difference before you move forward. If you want a simple checklist to organize coverage, costs, and enrollment steps, the Medicare Starter Kit is linked below. If this was helpful, share it with someone looking for Medicare or already enrolled. Thank you for listening. I'll see you in the next one.